Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, answers finally revealed in the death of Elijah McLean. What a full amended autopsy could show today. And
even though justice with Michael Close was served, my daughter's still dead.
How Isabella Thalis' mother is keeping her memory alive with a new mission.
plus, it's Tabor Round 2. What to know about another state tax refund coming in the spring.
And Casa Bonita is still closed, but employees are hard at work. The way they're giving back to our community.
Which I know you're excited because you've never been.
Never been. I love sopapillas. I hear that the sopapillas at Casa Bonita are
That is
good.
a highlight. So are the Cliff Divers and the comedy show. It's never been known for its food, but we're going to hear from the chef coming up on the future menu, which will be, hey, could be gourmet. We don't know. Thanks for joining us. It is Friday morning. I'm Brian Sanders.
Yes, happy Friday. I'm Jessica Crawford. Gorgeous day, first full day of fall, Lisa, and it feels like it.
Yeah, it started last night at 7:03 here, the autumnal equinox, and it is going to be the first fall day with, well, almost more summer-like conditions, but everything clearing out nicely after some cool, cloudy, wet days. Now we're looking at sunshine for the early morning drive. It is going to be a pretty bright drive. I'm putting the biking forecast back in the rotation as things dry out. In the low 70s by about 11 o'clock, mid to upper 70s by early afternoon. And then take a look at our highs. Right around 4 to 5, we're going to be at, well, near 80 in Denver, 79 in Boulder, 76 in Parker, some mid to upper 70s on the south side closer to Castle Rock, and more 60s for the mountains. Skies again clearing not only here in town but also in the mountains. We are in for some really pretty weather this weekend. I'll show you just how much warmer it's going to get here on our Super 7-Day Colette coming up in just a few minutes.
It's getting warmer? That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. Let's delay winter as long as we can. That's okay. So the biggest story, obviously, this train derailment here, this RTD train, Sable Boulevard at East Exposition Avenue. It has been cleared from the tracks. We are still waiting to hear if the trains will be running today. So something to keep an eye on, of course, down there, that derailment causing a couple of different ripple effects, obviously, for anyone who is commuting using the train. But if you take a look at one of our videos from our own April, who's our assignment manager in the morning, this video here shows some fog near Aurora. There's also foggy conditions in the Thornton and Parker area. Lisa was telling me it is just going to be kind of patchy this morning through different spots, so you might see this, you might not. If you do, of course, just something to be aware of. And then down near 5th and Bannock, this is a picture of a single-story house fire. It's under control, no injuries reported, but there are a couple of fire trucks, police cars in the area, so watch out for that.
Today at noon, the Adams County coroner will release the full autopsy report for Elijah McLean, and this has been a long time coming. A judge ruled for Denver 7 and other local news organizations seeking the full release of the report. McLean died in 2019, days after he was injected with ketamine by Aurora fire paramedics. McLean's autopsy found his cause of death was undetermined, but according to the coroner, that report was amended based on the grand jury investigation. Amendments are rare. Legal experts tell Denver 7 changes to McLean's cause of death could impact the likelihood of any convictions in the case.
A 16-year-old is now being charged as an adult in connection with a shooting outside a Denver rec center near East High School. Jaleel Mitchell faces 10 counts, including 2 for attempted murder. The district attorney's office says another 16-year-old who was arrested at the time has not been charged yet. A 19-year-old man and 14-year-old RJ Harding were hurt back on September 7th. Investigators say Harding, an East High School student who was shot in the face, was just an innocent bystander.
This morning, we're hearing from the mother of Isabella Thalis after her killer, Michael Close, was found guilty. The crime shocked the city. Back in June of 2020, Close opened fire from his apartment balcony near Coors Field, where Thalis and her boyfriend were walking their dog. Thalis's boyfriend, Darian Simon, survived. Her mom says the verdict doesn't feel like much closure.
It's like, I waited this long for this. Why don't I feel different? Why can't I be happy? Bella's dead. That's the reality of it.
Isabella's mother says she's found her peace by advocating for gun and domestic violence victims while keeping her daughter's memory alive. Close will be sentenced to life in prison on November 4th.
Well, you might be getting more money back from the state early next year. State leaders expect to give out another round of Tabor refunds after mailing out a series in August.
And Denver 7's Veronica Acosta explains when you could see one of these refunds, for how much and in what form.
And we'll get right to the important part. It's $250 on average for those Coloradans, and that's what we can expect in that Tabor refund check. So if economic forecasts actually hold true, we could expect that money when we file for taxes next year. Now, getting this additional money, it's a possibility because despite the last round of those Tabor checks, Colorado still has $677 million more than is allowed. But before you start checking those mailboxes, just take a quick minute. Nothing is for sure just yet. There is going to be another economic forecast that's going to come in December. That's going to give us a clearer picture of what we can expect. And then if we do end up getting those Tabor refund checks, we can expect them sometime, maybe in April. We're live in Lakewood this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Veronica. Well, this weekend, thousands of people will likely head to the mountains for some leaf peeping and to see the beautiful fall colors, but businesses are trying to get ready for all the visitors, and one restaurant is worried they will not be able to open because of a scheduled XL power outage from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow. Kiki Frisbee owns Mac Nation Cafe in Indian Hills, and she says she found out about the power line work in a voicemail Wednesday, so she tried calling the company and town leaders, and Excel says it would give her a generator for backup power, but now it's a waiting game for that.
I'm anticipating, they said they would send an electrician and hook it up to the board. I'm anticipating we should not have any trouble, but I'm very anxious about it because if it doesn't work, we're back to square one.
Excel told Denver 7 the outage was scheduled this particular weekend because it's when crews were most available.
This comes as XL customers prepare to pay more for their utility bills starting next month. The average residential customer will see their monthly bill increase about $3 a month. Small businesses will see a $5 increase to $133 a month. Utilities have to pay more for natural gas now, and regulations allow utility companies to pass higher fuel costs on to customers. Our partners at the Denver Post report the higher price for gas will affect both your gas and electric service.
Well, here's an excuse to get the kids to clean out their closet. Maybe for parents, you just want to clean out the garage. Tomorrow is the Avs Give Sports Equipment Drive, so they're taking new and gently used equipment for all sports.
So I just ask all of your viewers, please, anything that you've got in that garage, any type of sports equipment, basketballs, footballs, hockey equipment, bicycles. We even have received in the past a basketball hoop and a balance beam. And we've been able to turn those over to Precious Child, and they've been able to find an organization that can use it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be hockey. Get the balance beam out of the garage. You can drop off your sports equipment tomorrow at Ball Arena from 9 to 11, but get there early because donors also get a voucher for 2 tickets to a Nuggets or Avalanche preseason home game, but that's only while supplies last.
Well, if you drive Clear Creek Canyon to gamble, hike, bike, or to fish, you need to know Highway 6 will be partially closed tomorrow for a big cleanup project. Tomorrow is National Public Lands Day, and hundreds of volunteers are going to be cleaning up trash along the highway and the nearby trail.
The vast majority of it's going to be picking up trash and debris that ends up this micro trash, these little pieces of trash that are that are along the side of the road or along the trail that make their way into the trail, off the trail, into the stream, and then clutter up our waterways, which makes it, of course, challenging for the aquatic life, but also for all of us that drink that water every day.
The cleanup runs from 8 to 2. US 6 will be closed between Golden and Highway 119 during the cleanup for safety, and you can volunteer to help on the Jeffco Open Space website.
It's going to be a pretty day for it tomorrow. Now at just about 5:10, we're looking at some nice conditions this morning. It's back to t-shirt and shorts weather for your kids. They'll likely want a sweatshirt early this morning. We're going to be in the upper 40s to low 50s at the bus stop. Getting home and kicking off the weekend, though, to upper 70s. Highs near 80 today. And Colette, a lot of sunshine. In fact, sunshine across the Super 7 day. We'll take a look at that coming up.
The weather looks great, the roads look great this morning. A little bit of fog in certain areas, but nothing too bad. This is 25 here near Thornton. A couple of cars out on the road, pretty typical for around 5 a.m. on a Friday morning. There are a couple of problem spots. I'm gonna let you know where those are coming up.
Well, start checking off your holiday gift list now, which seems early. It's only September, but we'll explain why being ahead of schedule this year could save you big money.
Telling time in the U.S. could get a little more complicated. How making daylight saving time permanent is changing a system we've had around for decades.